I did a lot of stuff in my using that I'm incredibly ashamed of. I just had this stabbing feeling of like, oh, remember what you did. It's embarrassing for me to talk about now. I feel so sick and so ashamed. I don't know why I did it. Oh, no, why did you do that? This week, I wanted to talk about shame. They say that shame is the number one killer of people. Most people commit suicide because of shame. Shame is a deadly, deadly phenomenon for people to experience. If you think about it, most people that kill themselves is around some kind of shame, isn't it? So it is like a pervasive, deadly thing. I feel like it affects me as an addict, particularly because I did a lot of stuff in my using that I'm incredibly ashamed of. You know that feeling where you just literally, that thing about you want the ground to swallow you up and you want to just disappear? I get that a lot around remembering things from when I was using. And step 9 in the program, where you meet people that you've hurt or caused damage to and you make amends, you say sorry and, you know, how can I make this better? That's supposed to deal with the shame aspect, because you have to sit down with these people and it's really hard. It's a really hard process. And well, leading up to doing the step 9 is really hard because you're in your head and your head's telling you, oh, this person's gonna, you know, be so upset with you and it's gonna be humiliating. And for me, everyone I met, all my step 9s were pretty much amazing. That's where this program has a thing called The Promises. And The Promises are an incredible thing. And that's what I really wanted when I first got sober. I saw in the big book, it says around step 9, fear of economic insecurity will leave you. You'll learn how to handle life. Situations which used to baffle you will become easier and life just gets less confusing. And I heard that and I was like, I've got to get to step 9 because that's what I want, all that stuff. And that's happened. They don't all happen at the same time, but I get those promises every day, one or the other. So that's all around the step where you confront your shame and basically make amends. So something came up for me yesterday. I was flicking through Instagram and I saw a profile of a guy who I don't know so well, but I just had this stabbing feeling of like, oh, remember what you did. Oh. And I just had a flashback to when I was using. I can't even remember why, but I messaged this guy who seems like a lovely guy. We have friends in common, but I don't know him personally. And I messaged him completely out of order things about how he was a horrible person and this person. It's embarrassing for me to talk about now. I feel so sick and so ashamed. I don't know why I did it. I think I had a resentment around he was friends with some people that were no longer friends with me, and I got it in my head, and because I was high I got super resentful, and I just sent an email to him like, you're a horrible person and this is why. And I don't even think that, and I don't even know him. And so I came across his profile yesterday and I was like, oh no, why did you do that? And I started to feel all this shame. And I never made amends to him in my step 9. He was never on my step 8 list of people I'd harmed because I'd forgotten about it. And yesterday was the first time I really remembered. And now I've got this thing of I've got to make amends to him. I've got to reach out to him, and it's going to be super embarrassing because this was six years ago. So he may not even remember it, but I think he will, because I think I sent him a horrible, horrible email for no reason. Because in my head, I just was jealous that he had friends that I used to have. I was just, you know, I had no self-esteem. I felt like, you know, I didn't deserve people in my life. I was pushing everyone away. I was in a horrible, dark, disgusting place. And I just lashed out at this dude. And I just wanted to check that feeling in with you and just sort of talk about shame and how it's a really physical feeling, isn't it? It's like being stabbed. It's like I literally want the ground to swallow up and take me in there. I can't believe all the things I did. And this is just one guy. There's lots of other people that I hurt that I didn't probably will remember as time goes on. So this came up for me yesterday, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it, because shame, how do you deal with shame? Does shame make you want to just, hurt yourself? Or does shame make you want to use? Does shame make you want to hide away? It's a brutal feeling, isn't it? Shame. And I wanted to check in with you guys. Remember we talked about bookending. If I tell you about it, I'm going to have to do it, and then I'm going to have to make another video saying how it went. So this is the steps in action right here. This is step 9 in action. These are the feelings around it. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I feel terrible for doing this. I don't know him. He seems like a really nice guy. I'm going to have to make amends. So I feel like I'm going to have to, I don't know his phone number, I'm going to have to email him, I guess, and just say, I'm sorry for what I did, and not justify it. I can't justify it to him. I can't say, I'm sorry, but, you did this, I can't do that. Not that I even have anything that I can say for the reason that I did this. So I'm sorry for what I did. How can I make it better? And just stay out of it from then. I just got to take myself out of it and not expect anything. Just make myself available to him and just say sorry. Because if I don't do that, I'm not keeping my side of the street clean, and I'm going to want to use. Because the way for me to stop wanting to use is I have to keep my side of the street clean, which means I have to be basically doing the right thing all the time I can. If I notice I'm doing something wrong, I've got to call myself out and I've got to do something about it. And it's annoying sometimes, because I just want to, and now I've told you about it, I'm going to have to do something about it. So it's even twice as annoying now, you guys. Anyway, that's where I am this week. I'm sorry I didn't get onto the families of addicts and families of alcoholics, but I'm going to jump into that next week, because hopefully Laura will feel better. And I think it's good if we both jump into that, because we can talk on what it's like for the other person, because we both experienced it. Thank you for watching this series, and thank you for all your incredible comments. I can't tell you how amazing it is to read the comments. I can't tell you how amazing it is to read about people doing their first meeting. I really love you guys. Like, I posted about it the other day. For real, I do. And this is like a meeting for me. Like, I don't go to meetings anymore because of the pandemic, and I'm not connecting to Zoom meetings. I got to call out. I still don't have a sponsor. That's dangerous. I've got to sort that out. So can you keep me accountable for that? Can you keep me accountable for that? And can you keep me accountable for speaking to this guy and saying sorry? Will you do that for me? Thank you guys. I love you. I really do. And I don't know what I'd do without making these videos for you, because I wouldn't be noticing this stuff. Because when I notice something, I'm like, oh, I've got to talk about that in my video. Anyway, how are you doing? How are you getting on during the pandemic? And mental health in this time is important, isn't it, to stay on top of? It can be hard. I want you guys to take care, and tell me how you're getting on. I love to read these comments. I can't tell you how much joy it brings me. So you guys are the best. I got to go and figure out what I'm going to say to this guy. And yeah, that's recovery, isn't it? Keeping our side of the street clean. More next week.